Credit cards are awesome. They are awesome. And I know Dave Ramsey does not agree with that statement, but I am going to take the next few minutes and tell you why credit cards are awesome, why you should get one, and how it is going to help you in your life. In America, the credit score was introduced in 1989, which means before 1989, it did not exist, which means you could do things like buy a house, cell phones didn't exist back in 1989. Never mind, skip that. You could buy a house, you could get insurance, you could rent something without having one because they would do things more hands-on. But as time has gone on, it has now been a little over 30 years since the credit score was created. You really have to have one. I feel like as more time has gone on, companies have become more lazy with their research without a credit score, and more companies require a good credit score to get good rates when you're buying a house, to be able to get a cell phone, to be able to qualify for a credit card. And maybe 10 or 15 years ago, you could buy a house without a credit score because they would do manual underwriting, research your job history and rental payments over a period of time. But guess what? They don't do that anymore. When it comes to getting homeowners insurance, car insurance, getting your cell phone, getting a credit card, renting an apartment, you have to have a credit score, and it needs to be a good credit score, which means you have to have a credit card. I have not been able to find any company that will let you get anything without a credit score that you accumulate through getting a credit card. Now, credit scores range between, I guess they could be 0 all the way up to 850 points, and they will fluctuate every single month because certain things happen every single month that will make it go up or make it go down. People who have a credit score of 800 points or higher generally have the following things: 25 years of credit history. That's significant. They owe less than $3,500 across all credit cards. They use only 7% or less of their credit limit. So if their credit limit is $10,000 total, they never use more than 7% of that, which is only $700. That's pretty low. And they have no late payments within the last 7 years. So if you want a high credit score, you need to get one credit card, and only one. Do not get more of them, and keep it for as long as possible. My longest credit card, I believe I've had for 20 years, and I will never ever get rid of it. Now, there's a whole other conversation about credit card churning that I'll get into at the end of this video, but there's one I always keep and never close, so I can have that long credit history. I put something on that card every single month, whether it's gas or my Netflix charge or groceries. You're always putting something on the card, and it can be something small, and you pay it off every single month. Now, if your credit limit on your card is $2,000, please do not charge $2,000 every single month, because you are using 100% of your credit when they really only want you to use 7% of your credit. So if your credit limit is $10,000, never put more than $700 on it. And that will help you get a higher credit score. Every time you apply for a new credit card, your score will go down a little bit. Every time you close a credit card, your score will go down a little bit. Every time your credit score is pulled for a house mortgage application or a new cell phone plan or homeowner's insurance, it goes down a little bit. But hopefully you're not doing those things every single day or even every single month. Here's a little bit of a hack for those that have children and you want to help them build up a credit score while they're young. You can add your child as an authorized user of your credit card, and they will start accumulating the years of credit history based on your usage. By the time they're 18 and move out on their own, they could have 5 to 8 years of a credit history without actually ever having their own credit card. Now, payment history is the largest component in your credit score. Are you paying your bills on time? Have you ever been late? If you have been late one time in 7 years, it will ding your credit score. So if you have a credit card and you have not set up like automatic payments for the due date, so you never ever miss a payment, you need to go do that now. And you can set it up to be the minimum payment, so you can go in and pay more if you want to, but do not ever miss a payment. Another huge reason your credit score can is if you've had a major life event like a foreclosure or a bankruptcy. A foreclosure stays on your credit score for 7 years. A Chapter 13 bankruptcy stays on your credit score for 7 years, and a Chapter 7 bankruptcy for 10 years. So think long and hard about participating in any of those events because it will affect you for a very long time. I personally feel like advice from Dave Ramsey about the credit score and credit cards is wildly out of date. I have been recently trying to purchase a rental property. The credit score makes a huge difference in whether you're approved for a loan, your rate for the loan. They told me if my credit score was under 790, I was gonna get a higher interest rate. But if it was above 790, and it was, I would get a better interest rate. So just for the sake of getting a good interest rate when purchasing your house, is a good reason to get a credit card, put your Netflix charge on it, pay it off every month, and get a good credit score. Here comes part 2 of credit cards and one of the reasons I love them, and it's credit card churning. Now, this is only for your advanced credit card users. Let's talk about it. Now, I said before, I have my one credit card that I have had for 20 years. This is not the card I am doing this with. This is my backup. I keep it all the time. I never close it. My Netflix charge goes on it every single month. This is the one that never changes. That's my long history credit card. Now, because my credit score is very, very high, it usually hangs around the 800 to 820 range. When I get an advertisement, whether it's an email or a pop-up on a computer or something in the mail that says this American Airlines credit card is going to give you 100,000 bonus points for spending $1,000 in 3 months. And by the way, we'll waive the credit card fee for the first year. That is the credit card I'm looking for. I sign up for the card. It is a small ding on my credit score to do this, but it's not big. I spend the $1,000 in the first 3 months, and between groceries and gas and school fees, it's very easy to do in a family size of mine. That's only $333 a month. The 100,000 points hits my account. Then I stop using the card. I've paid everything off, okay? I stop using the card, and that's when I go look for flights. I go to American Airlines, purchase by points, I buy my plane tickets, and cancel the card. I have done it with American Airlines. I have done it with Delta. I am currently doing it with Southwest Airlines. And here are a few keys on ways to do it properly. Now, I only do about one of these cards every year. I'm not doing like 5 in a year. During the Sharona timeframe, I didn't do any. So I actually had about 2 years where I didn't open any new credit cards at all. So I had a really long time frame for my credit score to go back up. These free airline miles is how I was able to take my entire family of 6 to Mexico this past summer of 2021. I have a whole video on that. I will leave it below. This method is how Dave and I were able to go to the Dominican Republic in 2019 for free airplane tickets. Details down below. I recorded that one as well. So if you like traveling, you want to travel, but plane ticket price is a deterrent to what you want to do, credit card churning, which is what I am saying, is my way around that. So this year I'm doing Southwest Airlines. I'm going to accumulate my 100,000 points. I will use my points, cancel the card, and then wait a year and do it again next year. Once again, this is for the advanced credit card user, and here are the following things you're looking for when you get that credit card application thing. Number 1, I look for at least 70,000 airline miles. 70,000 at the minimum. Number 2, I want them to waive the annual fee of the card for the first year. I'm not paying an extra $70 for the card, and most of them do that. Number 3, I'm looking for a low spend requirement. If they're saying I need to spend $10,000 in 3 months, that is not the card for you. You are looking for a $1,000 or $500 in 3 months. That's the card for you. And the offers change all the time, so pick and choose and be smart about it if you want to try and do it. And I know there's going to be people down below that absolutely hate this idea because it does take your credit score down a little bit. But if yours is already high like mine, like 820, then it doesn't knock it down that much. And once again, I'm not doing 5 in a year. I'm doing 1 in a year. and it's gonna be okay. So if you listen to financial experts right now and they are telling you to never ever have a credit card and you don't need a credit score, I would be highly suspicious of that. I believe in 2021, it is necessary to have a credit score, a high credit score, and using a credit card is the way you can do that. Thanks for hanging out with me today, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.